Hi everyone, welcome back. So, just ignore the fact that I look extremely exhausted. I am. It's only like 10 to 2 or something like that, and I just spent the entire second half of the morning building Dexter's new bed in his room, so it got pretty tense in the middle and I was thinking about giving up and possibly crying. But it's built now and now I'm really tired, but I'm doing my this is my fourth day of VEDA, isn't it? Yes, it is. Fourth day of vlogging every day in April, and even though it is the 6th of April right now, I did miss the first 2 days, sorry about that. So what I want to do today is talk you through what I read in March, because I did what I read in February last month, so I'm going to do what I did in March. So the first thing I read was The Boy Who Could Do What He Liked by David Baddiel. And I spoke about this briefly last month because I was just about to read it. And yeah, it is a kid's book, but I enjoy reading kids' books ever so often, to be honest. And I thought it might be good for Dexter as well, but I ended up not reading it to Dexter, I ended up just reading it by myself. But I'll read it to Dexter at some point. So it's all about a boy who has a routine for absolutely everything in his life. He lives with his dad and his stepmom. As far as I can kind of gather from the book, his mum died, and so his dad kind of started using these routines as a coping mechanism, and then they just carried on to the point where he had a routine for everything, like a getting up routine, brushing his teeth in the morning routine, a brushing his teeth at night routine, which was the same thing as the morning one, but except it was at night and stuff. But it was just every single thing in his life had a routine and had to be done at a specific time of day. And yeah, so then his dad and his stepmom have to go out for a meal with his dad's boss. So the little boy called Alfie, he gets a new babysitter that he's never had before, and they get the number for this babysitter on a little card found in a drawer with his mum's handwriting on it saying for emergencies. And so his dad phones up this new babysitter who comes round and essentially says, do whatever you like, you don't have to stick to routine. And so Alfie starts to panic at first and tries to stick to his routine, but then he realizes that he can do literally anything he likes, and then it's kind of funny and magical and chaos after that. And it was a great little read. Definitely I will read it to Dexter, he will enjoy it, and I would definitely recommend it. So the second book that I read, technically I haven't read it all because well, I'll tell you what it is. It's Limmy's Daft Wee Stories, and I haven't read it all because it's not a book that you read like from the front, from cover to cover. It's lots of little stories in it, and so you kind of dip in and out of it and just read little bits here and there. And I first read a couple of these stories when my sister got the book for Christmas, and she let me read a couple. A favourite one was The Size of Sally, and it's one of these things that you read and it kind of, this specific story, The Size of Sally, you read it and it starts to get really deep and you're like, this is going to be like a really deep and thoughtful story, and then the last line just kills it and is hilarious to the point where, like, for days after reading it I just randomly was bursting out laughing remembering this story. It's so funny. So I got it for the Kindle, and I've read the first few stories on it on the Kindle, and just every single one just gets me. Some of them are just totally pointless, some of them are just mental. Like, I don't know where he gets this from, but they're hilarious, and I would definitely recommend this book to absolutely everybody. It is so funny and so good, and I cannot wait to read the rest of it, so recommend. Yes, it is amazing. So the final book that I read this month was I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore. So Pittacus Lore is actually the name of one of the elders in this book. So I did look up who the actual author was, but now can't remember. I will put it in a little caption. Somebody called Joby Hughes, that sounds about right, I think. I'll double check and put it in a caption anyway. So I had seen the film for this book. It's also called I Am Number 4, and obviously it's quite a few years old now, the film, and it always just been one that I kept going back to and watching again. I just really liked the idea of it and the story, but it never occurred to me that it was a book as well. I don't know why. But I was in my local bookshop recently, and I saw the first 3 books in this series reduced down to like £8 for all 3, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that because I really liked that movie. And actually, I thought that the 3 books were all there was. I thought it was just a trilogy, but it's not. There are at least 2 more, according to the back of this book. So I'd initially thought that all 3 books had been combined together to make the film, but when I actually read this first book, I realised that that is basically the entire film in this one book. So when they've made the film, they've done it off the first book, and then for whatever reason, maybe they didn't make enough when they brought the film out, they haven't made the second movie, the second book. I really enjoyed it. It was very similar to the film. They when they've made the film, they've included pretty much everything from the book, and yeah, it's just really a fast-paced book that's just like full of lots of action, adventure, things like that. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that as well. So out of the 3 books that I read this month, even though one was a kid's book, I totally enjoyed all 3 of them. I don't really have any criticisms of any of them. And so if you're looking for something to read, definitely my top book out of those 3 is definitely Limmy's book. It is hilarious. Definitely go buy that. And yes, so I hope you enjoyed my little review of these books, and go out and read some books. Tell me what you've been reading down below as well. Give me some more recommendations. Obviously I'm going to read the next book in this I Am Number 4 series. What is the series called? The Lorien Legacies. I'm going to read the next couple of books in that series. But if you have any recommendations of anything else for me to read, then leave that down below. I read all different kind of things, like any genre at all. Just whatever's good, tell me and I will give it a shot. So yeah, I will see you guys all tomorrow for the next day of vlogging every day in April. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm filming these videos on the day that I'm uploading them as well, which probably wasn't the most well thought out thing, but it is what it is. So yes, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!